Because at the moment we've covered like 4 genres. We've still got the hip life, and we've still got the Afro beats.
Yes.
So that's still we're still gonna tell the story.
True.
You understand?
True.
So
but you know, I said
the high life came from to the hip life, straight down to the Afrobeat.
Afrobeat, exactly, and not that much has changed. I like the way the new wave is. You know, it's going back to how things started with high life. And if you're an artist and you're making music, you've got to be doing a bit of research too. With the way Berner does with Feles music, you know, go back in time and try and bring some of these classics back to life. Yeah. So, what next genre? Should I kick off?
Yeah, next genre. We're on the hip life, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to HipLife straight, man. This is an era that we are both proud of. You know, I know that when the conversation is being had as to what Afrobeats is like, you know, some of us they leave us out. They leave us out. But when you were doing the club stuff, I was on the radio, you know, keeping that same energy up. And we will in the night times, you know, sometimes meet at some of the clubs, you know, the Manjaro, the Afrikiko. So before that was Glenn's, wasn't it?
Yeah, but before that was Glenn's, Glenn's, Afrikiko,
Manjaro. Yeah, but
Cynthia's, London Bridge.
Yeah, exactly. You guys made a lot of money at Manjaro, though. I was.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but that was
it was a good feeling, man.
That was some good times.
Yeah.
That was some good times. So I'm gonna kick off the hip life, you know, with none other. I mean, if it wasn't for this man, we wouldn't be hearing hip life on a scale as we did. You know, he was able to put the business on wax, make it a commercial venture, for which was a good education for a lot of artists in Ghana. And I had him on my Instagram live just recently. Reggie Rockstone. This was the first track that they put out. They recorded one before then, but this was the one that actually put hip life on the map. This is Choboy, Reggie Rockstone, 6 for 5.
Yeah, so you know, hip life was kind of like the beginning. There was a time, I mean, the days of when 90%, they were one of the like the fathers of the bringing African music onto the urban scene in the UK. You know, they kicked off the Ghana's independence, Miss Ghana, and all sorts of things. So it was such a great feeling, you know, because most of those events in those days was more about the R&B, hip hop, dancehall. Until hip life came in existence, that we can actually go to raves and hear these kind of sounds. So this was one of the artists or groups that came out. I feel like, yeah, they done a big thing.
No, Kiss, you need to let that rap come in. Have you got it queued? Can you let the rap come in, man? You've got to let that rap come in.
I don't have the cue though.
Okay, yeah. You need to let that rap come in.
Okay. we got more time, man. We got more time.
Yeah, you got to skip a bit. You know, you can.
Yeah, man. I want to send a shout going out to 90%, man. The full crew, man. They definitely brought, you know, they made being Ghanaian so nice in the UK, man.
Shouts to 90%, you know. Shouts to Abrante. Shouts to Shooks, man. That's what. Shouts to Radical. You know, he's
Radical, the Abrante, Shooks, Black Ash, man.
That's a long track though. Back then they used to make the track like 4 minutes or 5 minutes. And
trust me.
But to think of it, it was the rap that actually brought this song to life though.
Oh yeah.
The rap was so terrible that it made the song so good, you know.
Trust me, man.
Yeah. Jeez, we got to let it rap in, man.
You know what, Teddy? This guy was so lucky that those days we didn't have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, because he would be highly disrespected online with that lyrical content being released at this day and age, man.
But can you imagine Caesar as well? You know, there was another rapper, Caesar.
Yeah. But I used to love that guy, man.
That would have been a serious battle, though. You know, but they had energy, though. That's one
energy
thing.
alone. Yeah,
they had energy, and I could chase after that track. They went on to record some very solid tracks, though.
Definitely. He knew the business. He understood the business, so he knew how to put things together and come out of that hit.
Yeah. So we talk about HipLife, one of the pioneers of HipLife who are still relevant to date. You know, guys that I've had the pleasure of sitting down with for interviews and, you know, knowing them off the scene as well. You know, they kept flying the flag of Ghana very high. They did international shows. They were all over Africa. They were traveling all over the world, you know, doing shows in America. It was 10 years ago in March when they were on my show here in London. This is VIP, and this track, you know, we all know VIP to be hip. They're very hip hopish, you know, but they came with this one. And it changed the game, man. JQ Productions.
Wow, VIP. One of the longest standing groups.
Yeah, that song changed the game.
Definitely.
In terms of video, even with the sound qualities of the sonic of that track is absolutely madness.
Yeah.
You know. Shouts to JQ on that production.
Yeah, and I'm so happy how far Afrobeats has come, because before we even used to use the term Afrobeats, it was always like HipLife, or we used to say, oh, Niger Pop.
Niger Pop, yeah.
Yeah, it was having Niger Pop, or it was HipLife. And before even HipLife came in, it was like, as I said before, you go to events and it was just solely R&B, hip hop, dance. So when these songs came like in, and you can actually play these songs in the club, it was such a good feeling, man. It was such a wonderful feeling. So we're going back to 1999 when a group was formed. They called themselves Achiamen.
Oh,
and these guys, they used to fly in and out of London for the Ghana independence, Ghana, and they were kind of like the starting point of this whole journey. Trust me, these were the kind of songs, man. We used to put them on mixtapes, and, you know, mix them with the R&B, hip hop, man. So it all blended together, it all worked together. Shouts going out to DJ Alton, man.
Yeah,
man.
I think he's giving you a shout in there that you gave him a stress.
Man. One love, bro, man.
But back then, you know, it was so much energy on tracks. You know, it was unbelievable. That was a Zap Mallet production.
Yeah, big up Zap Mallet.
What do you make of that whole producers battle that we had quite recently? Because Zap's name was thrown in there, and he wasn't really happy that he was being compared.
You know, he was saying he's a big man. He's too big for that. But you know what? I don't think there's a big man in this when it comes to in the music industry, man. You know, we do music for the love of it. I don't think it's when it comes to it, there should be some type of like, I'm too big for it, or kind of attitude. Yeah, because it's just like, look, Teddy Riley and Babyface. You know, they're big men in the game. They're from back in the day, but there wasn't that kind of tension that, oh yeah, I'm too big for this. And you know what? Babyface, as compared to Teddy Riley is like a small boy to him, you understand?
Oh yeah.
But he still, you understand? He didn't see like, yeah, I'm a big man for Teddy, so I'm not going to do this kind of thing. Yeah, so I think we just need to cool down sometimes when it comes to certain, you understand? It's a battle, but it's not going to kill you, man. And what I've realized with these battles that have been going on, there's so many songs that certain producers are playing that you wouldn't even realize that they were even behind it. You understand? So this has been like more of a learning tool to understand, oh, So this was the writer behind this. I didn't know that. Okay, yeah. No, so it's a learning process. It's a big learning process.
I do agree because there were some tracks that I didn't even know JQ produced. You know,
Yeah.
which adds to the value of the tracks. So it will be good for the youngsters to know what
education.
Some of the tracks that what you call is that Male produced, because he produced quite a lot of tracks that people don't know.
That's definitely
some that we love, but
yeah.
So we talk about HipLife. This I'm taking it back to 1999. This was after secondary school. We were waiting whether to write an entrance exam to go to university or not. And man, this guy dropped an album out of. He was known on the underground scene. If you're in the industry, then you would understand. He was very underground. There were stories about him, but when he dropped that Paimuka from the last two production, that changed the face of the game forever. You know, that people could actually add more content to their rap, add more lyrics to their rap, add more punchlines to their rap, and add more wisdom as well. This was a track that changed the face of radio as well for urban music and for HipLife in Ghana.
Acapulco Bay and I'm about Ocean. The force it can bring. This a friend don't green. Kunabo Aboski, a dear Gabatin. Electricity, my you know, you see crazy. When you talk about some power document, my pocket in me sagging. Send me down with the dry man, Madame Catherine. I swear, all the money matter, or lie. Subhana, that one take up there. A bit more time I saw that. Got I smart to Tiber. They did here, and Sanaya yet your fata, Maminka, and Yano Punya, the Comeka, Uncle Afu baby, or Change Kenyatta. Put up one block, rap for me, chain, but I got no break, but I let me talk. Can make a talk? To me, if I would do that, and mamma said, yes, sentimental, and my soul, get up my lips on your mask. Yes, go, sick your rice up and go. I would to cuddle and Papo Pool, Arabastan, I don't fear who, Charlie, one fool. And check the way you fool, the way you slide. When you mind is kind, I say, yeah, but I'm drink right in the kind and sign. Money, man, you back and crying. Oh, bro, so we need got to our panta.
So this is a Bravo Paimuka. 20 years, 21 is going into his 21st year. But I love it, man. This changed the face of the music, man.
Definitely
crazy.
I remember seeing his first performance in Temple. I wouldn't even remember the year, man. It was such a long time. I remember just him before he even started performing. He just knelt down on the stage and he was just like kind of like chanting. It was just a whole different ball game, man.
Very prayerful too.
Yeah, definitely.
Very prayerful.
I want to come to an artist. He goes by the name of Emmanuel Andrew. He was born on the 22nd December, 1981. He was the first Ghanaian artist to win a mobile. First Ghanaian artist to win a mobile. And you know, Ghanaians, when we do something, that alone, we feel it's such a big thing for us. But this artist came to UK back in 2004 and took the first time mobile for Ghana. I don't think I need to play anymore, man. I think everyone knows the words, man. So you
oh my God,
you are, right?
that is a tune, man. Big shouts to Batman.
Yeah, man.
As we knew him back then. But
yeah,
shouts to Samini.
Yeah, man.
But on another note, he's one of the most consistent artists of our generation. You know,
Definitely.
He's kept it till date. You know, he's still going strong, putting out albums. You know, you've got to respect that. You've got to respect that. I'm gonna go to another artist that game-changing artist. you know, this man, I remember in the late 90s, you know, I had the pleasure of sitting down with him and one of my neighbors and KOD. This was there was a spot in St. John's, you know, the St. John's Secondary School.
Yeah.
There was a sport there. I forgot. Is it Just Here? They call it. And very generous guy he is, you know. Anyone that was around, you know, made sure that they had their drinks, you know. And he's one of the most elite rappers from Kumasi. His name is Lord Kenya, and this song that came changed the game as well.
I just supposed to buy, and then 1 time, 2 times, most of the biggest is to die. Also drop and raise your grace. Now brown you will case cry. Who can be a buy? What's the friend? Lady Lamborghini. What you need? On beginning. Watching mini, bikini, come, watching body. Open high, what's the honey? Hey, bright Johnny. Who watch you? What's the money? Remember, men just go slow. Or don't get the rock, watch you will go. When you bring car, or when you want to Manaka Unika, oh yeah, Makata said, Uka Unika, and so we accept. You say, no, come, no, back. Oh, you think about, no, come, no, back. Get it up, no, come, no, back. Oh, you think about, no, come, no, back. Get it up, no, come, no, back. Oh, you think about, no, come, no, back.
Lord Kenya.
Lord Kenya, man. His energy on stage was incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
Definitely, man. It's like when I heard him turning a pastor, I was like, wow. This guy came out with all these stuff, and then next thing he just turned to a pastor.
Yeah, he found a way.
He found a way. Definitely found a way. Now I'm going to another artist. He was more on the singing side of things, but his song became a personal favorite, especially with the women during the HipLife days.
Oh, that was a game changer.
Definitely.
Yo, that was a game changer, man. That's a track that to date still sounds fresh. I think it's been sampled by who sampled it?
I swear, Tion Wayne, the Tion Wayne music.
Tion Wayne, yes. Yeah, Tion Wayne, yeah. That's true. But that tells you how well our music travels. And I hope, you know, Ofori and was it Apietu's production back then? Yeah, I hope. I hope the paperwork is good and they get some good change on there. Because that's the other side of it, you know, the business as well.
Yeah, definitely the business, sampling and royalties and all sorts of things.
And all of that stuff. Because that 2 out of 10, yeah, that track, yeah, that's a solid one too. All right, so I'm gonna go for my last one. This is an artist that we have some good contacts to. KK Fosu, his voice, his charisma, his energy, everything just reminds me of back then when he had like Ohinibakisi, how Ohinibakisi was out to the whole swagger on music and all of that. That's what this guy brought to the game. And we remember him from the group with Batman and Cocovelli. They brought a Zaza. But this track here is also another game-changing track. KK, D-Star.
KK man.
Shouts to Kube, man. Cube Dog, what's good, brother? Ray, yeah, you need to come back, At this time, you can't leave the hall party. Man, I miss hall parties,
Wow.
I miss that.
Me, man.
That.
The feeling alone was different,
man, it was a different feeling.
Shouts
to a lot there. They brought some flavor back like that with Oforiamponsa shutting it down there. It was really necessary, man. So that was my last track, man.
Yeah. Shouts going out to Desmond, man. Yeah. Hi. Shouts going out to Ghana Empress, House of Bajewa, Mamiya, over crew locked on. We're doing the 6 for 5. Going for 6 genres, 5 different tracks per genre.
Yes.
We're just on an educational ride, man. Certain songs we forgot about, certain history behind them, and so on, man. So I'm going for my final one on the HipLife tip, and it definitely has to go to Kwabena.
Yo, shout to Levi.
Kwabena.
Yes.
I saw, man.
But
Definitely that's breaking one.
An everlasting track.
Ever.
Man, it's one of those tracks that's going to be there forever, man. It's going to be there forever. Shouts to DJ Sour joining. Shouts to Levi as well who joined in. Shouts to Delosh. What's good, bro? Shouts to Ghana Empress. Yeah, he said